Good afternoon, Miss. I am Orson Vine M. Caban from BSN2 Weidenbach, and today I am going to perform tepid or cold sponge bath. So, what is tepid or cold sponge bath? It is the application of cold water to the surface of the skin by means of a wet sponge. Objectives: to reduce body temperature by conduction and evaporation, to relieve restlessness, thereby providing comfort and relaxation. Prepare the water to a temperature of about 29.5 degrees Celsius or 85 degrees Fahrenheit, but add ice chips to bring the temperature down while bathing the patient until the water temperature reaches about 18 degrees Celsius or 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Prepare the client to gain cooperation. Explain that the face, neck, arms, legs, and back, optional, will be sponged and that the procedure takes about 25 to 30 minutes. Protect the patient's bed with moisture-proof material to protect the linens from getting wet. Remove the gown and assist the client to a comfortable supine position. Removing the gown provides access to all skin surfaces. Cover the patient properly to prevent shivering as various parts of the body are exposed to bathing. For prevention of chilling, minimal exposure, and provision of privacy. Place the bath towel under the head. Protects the bed sheet from getting wet. Prepare several ice bags. One ice bag is placed on the patient's head to promote comfort. Others are placed in the axillary areas and in the groin where the blood vessels are close to skin surface. The ice bag helps to cool the patient further. The axillae and groins contain large superficial blood vessels that aid the transfer of heat. The application of ice bag promotes cooler temperature of the body's core by conduction. If washcloth is to be used in the axillary areas or groin, wet 4 washcloths and fold into 4 parts. Wring them out so that they are very damp but not dripping. Washcloths need to be as moist as possible to be effective. Place washcloths in the axillae and groins. Leave washcloths in place for about 5 minutes until they feel warm, re-wet, and replace them as required during the bath. Washcloths warm up relatively quickly in such vascular areas. Good afternoon, sir. Ako na listeners. Bali na perform kasi mo sa bang tepid or cold sponge bath. Okay, sir. Ito na ni ka, sir. Yes, sir. Ay, sir. Kakabalik, sir. Immerse folded washcloths or material for sponging in basin with water. Sponge the client's face with plain water. Pat to dry. Then sponge the neck. Sponging of the face and neck should be within 3 to 5 minutes. Friction of rubbing may raise body temperature. Sponge the arms and legs. Place a bath towel under one arm and sponge the arm slowly and gently for about 3 to 5 minutes, or as tolerated by the client. The farther arm should be the first to be sponged. Slow, gentle motions are indicated because firm rubbing motions increase tissue metabolism and heat production. Cool sponges given rapidly or for a short period of time tend to increase the body's heat production mechanisms by causing shivering. Cover but do not dry each part as it is sponge. Evaporation of moisture on the skin helps to reduce body temperature. An excessively heavy covering may increase body temperature. Do the same thing in the lower extremities. Hold the washcloth briefly over the wrist and ankles. The blood circulation is close to the skin surface in the wrist and ankles. Change water PRN. If the back portion of a patient's body is to be sponged, do this for 10 minutes, optional. Water temperature rises as a result of exposure to the patient's warm body surface. The anterior chest and abdomen are usually not sponged. No presence of large superficial blood vessels in this area. Check the patient's skin color and pulse rate during the bath. If the patient becomes pale or cyanotic, or if the pulse rate increases or becomes irregular, discontinue the bath. This indicates that the temperature of the patient may have dropped to subnormal level. Do aftercare of equipment and change bed linens if soiled to avoid transmission of infection. Sir, good afternoon. Kilig, sir. Pwede pa kang balik, sir. Check the patient's body temperature about 30 minutes after the bath to evaluate the effectiveness of the sponge bath. Sir, makakot ng temperature, sir. Document assessment, including the temperature rechecks. Drop temperature is recorded. Graph according to agency policy. Recording communicates the care provided in an accurate and firmly fashion.